Okay, this meeting of the Florida Talent Development Council is called to order. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for joining us yet again for a Talent Development Council meeting. And for the record, and for those of you who I have not met, my name is Bob Ward, and I'm the chair of the TDC. Before we call our roll, thank you for participating for the second meeting to consider, or actually the third meeting to consider the strategic plan revisions. And I was going to introduce Senator Broxton to say a few words, but I'm not seeing him on the call, so I will skip that. But he is a recent appointee of Senate President Passidomo. I'm also pleased to announce the reappointment of Tim Ciro. Tim, unfortunately, is representing the Board of Governors at a meeting and plans to join us in a few minutes after they break. And finally, we welcome Meredith Ivey, who has been made Acting Secretary of DEO and is participating in her new capacity today. Welcome, Secretary Ivey. Jeannie, please call the roll.
Thank you, sir.
Senator Broxton, Representative Andrade, Adrian Glenn Grant for CareerSource Florida.
Present.
Robert Harvey for Enterprise Florida.
Present.
Meredith Ivey.
Present.
Chancellor Henry Mack for Commissioner Diaz.
Present.
Monicia Brown for the State Board of Education.
Present.
Chancellor Kathy Hebda from the Florida College System.
Present.
Chancellor Kevin O'Farrell, Career and Adult Education.
Present.
Timothy Ciro. Robert Boyd, ICUF.
I'm here.
And Sue Edwards. All right, a quorum is present.
Excellent. Thank you, Jeannie. So for today's Zoom call, just a couple of administrative announcements. Please make sure your device is muted while you are not speaking. There will be an opportunity for public comment, but please hold any comments if you're not a member of the council until the designated time. And then all relevant council materials were posted in advance, including the agenda and the meeting packet, and can be found on the council's webpage at www.floridajobs.org/Talent Development Council. So as I said earlier, today we're going to discuss and approve any changes needed to update the strategic plan and goals and tactics. As I explained in December, the REACH office staff working with DEO and others at CareerSource has updated the plan with various changes that were agreed to and consolidated and condensed the plan overall per the direction of the council. Just as a reminder that this is the third meeting to complete the approval of the draft strategic plan, and hopefully 3 times is the charm. My plan is not to go through tactic by tactic or even strategy by strategy. I think we've had an opportunity to have a say. There will be a moment when we will discuss any edits that are being brought forward by the membership, but we will dispense with any long version of this plan approval process. So with that, let's move on to the approval of the minutes for the December 12th meeting. The minutes were provided to you in your packet, and hopefully everyone has had a chance to review them. And by the way, Chancellor Hebda, thank you so much for your last review. You did an excellent job of catching a couple of spelling mistakes in an earlier version, so thank you for that. So let me just ask, are there any questions about the minutes or any amendments? Is there a motion to approve the minutes of December 12th?
So moved. Kevin O'Farrell.
Is there a second? Don't be shy, guys. Is there a second?
I'll second. This is Kathy Hebda.
Thank you, Kathy. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
All those opposed say no. By your vote, show the meeting minutes of December 12th are approved. We now move on to the important goal for today, which is to reach council agreement for this year's submission of the Talent Development Council Strategic Plan. I'll provide a general overview of some of the introductory pages that you all are not as familiar with because the staff was still in the process of editing that portion of the plan since you last saw it. This is the copy, though, that I'm going over is what was in your packet and posted online, so it should be the copy before you. So let me start by saying that the first section of the plan, the first 15 pages in the older version, has now been condensed down to, I think, roughly 14 pages. It includes a letter from the chair, which is the introductory letter, 13 pages, introductory letter. And we try to give good recognition to the governor, the legislature, and obviously the REACH Act for the further development of the TDC work. We then move on to a description of the purpose and scope of the TDC on page 4. We then have a chart that shows the goals for policy and systems alignment. And then we move towards partner reports, work that's been done in the last year since we last updated the strategic plan. So we have a section in there that includes the Department of Education on its credential engine and the EMOP plan, which we received a presentation on recently. We have the Florida Chamber Foundation on its workforce needs study and the Future of Florida Work Initiative. We have ICUF's dashboard. We have the Florida Board of Governors dashboard. We have the Florida Department of Economic Opportunity, Florida Wins. We have the Career Source Florida CLIF dashboard. We have the Space Coast Workforce Development announcement. We then have an announcement about Florida ranking #1 in the nation for attracting and developing a skilled workforce. And then we end with a small synopsis of the Florida Credentials Review Committee. And then on page 13, we start actually with the plan itself, which I just want to congratulate the REACH staff and all that have worked on this plan. It is very well condensed compared to the first version of the plan that we issued a couple of years ago. And I'm very pleased with where I think we are. So beginning on page 13, we have our strategies, our tactics, our goals, strategies, and tactics. We did receive one request for an update. And so I want to direct the committee to page 16 of the plan. If you will look at goal 5 on workforce readiness, B, Mark Wilson is suggesting that because of some ongoing K through 12 career education programs, for instance, in Miami-Dade, Collier County, and others that also do career education, that we change B to state increase career-related education and exposure. That's what it currently reads, that we include at all levels at the end of that sentence to add clarity. And let me just pause there and ask the committee if there are any questions about that edit. Anyone with any concerns? Is there debate? All those in favor of the amendment signify by saying A.
Hey.
Hey.
All opposed,
Aye.
no. Hearing none, show the change adopted. Are there any further edits on any goals, strategies, or tactics that have not been covered by committee members or council members' edits in the past? Okay, well, thank you for your input over the last few months. Before I accept a motion on the adoption of the revised strategic plan, let's move on to public comment. Is there any member of the public wishing to speak or provide comment on the draft strategic plan? Hearing no further comment, I propose that the council direct staff to incorporate the one edit that was approved today to the new draft strategic plan and be given approval to make technical changes. Is there any objection to that motion? Hearing none, show it approved. Do I have a motion to approve the draft strategic plan as amended?
So moved. This is Monicia.
Thank you, Manisha. Is there a second?
I'll second Bob Boyd.
Thanks, Bob. All those in favor say aye.
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 All,
Aye.
all opposed say no. So the motion is carried. Members, once the updates have been incorporated into the strategic plan, we'll give you all an advance copy first. It'll also be posted on our website, and we'll do that before the final copies go over to the presiding officers. So thank you. Appreciate your hard work. I'm sorry it took us 3 meetings to get to this point, but I'm grateful for a good outcome. And as we've mentioned before, the next council meeting will not be held until in the spring, after the legislative session is wrapped up. Please look for communication regarding scheduling of that meeting in the future. Before we adjourn, I would like to thank the staff, specifically Jeannie Boggs, Mark Baird, Molly Weller, Kim Bain, and then of course the governor's director of the Reach Office, Katie Crowfoot, and the staff of DEO, specifically Allison Hopkins, for all their hard work and support for the efforts of the TDC. If there's no other business to come before the council, anybody? Hearing none, show the meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Chair.
you, Bob. Thanks.